Record.
Also recording.
Alex isn't allowed to record with his computer.
Take
I need
a
you to
look.
pixelate my face.
I'm gonna contour my face like a pumpkin. What's that from?
Did you guys see the movie Trick or Treat? I like that movie.
I wrote that movie.
I have
No, you
not.
didn't.
I did a commission for it once, but
It was okay. Anthologies are I love anthologies, but they're
it's
I
an anthology.
think Trick or
Is that
Treat,
about
one of them
spiders?
was really boring to me.
I thought it
Do you try to be just a trash human that loves or that hates fun, or is it just like
You're
a
saying that
natural?
to the guy who loves every piece of garbage the VHS.
You don't love
movies put
anything.
out.
I do love
But
it.
You'll find the best games
but-
in the world and you don't want to play them.
It's true. That's true.
This game loads.
Except for
I'm over it.
Control, the worst game. I can't. The Control's great. I can't yell about Control.
Ability score improvement.
I liked Elder Scrolls. What are you talking about?
No, I said Control.
I know. Alex is talking about skills or whatever.
Oh, no, I'm leveling my character now. He's invulnerable.
Alex, if you inverted your head, you still look like you have a normal haircut.
Nice.
A little beard for your head. Well, guys, it is good to see you all again. It's not great. It's not great, but it's good to see you all again. Do we remember what happened last time? Let me tell you what happened last time,
I
because
think
you
we
forgot.
won. We beat
Because
everything.
You forgot. You did win, actually. I
Actually,
did my best to. I did want him to die, but you did
Who?
save him. Vondis was captured by the Summer Queen, part of the Sealy court in the Fae, for his horrendous crimes that he was guilty for. And Alex jumped in haphazardly to go save him. Shenanigans ensued. You went into the Feywild to find Alex. Further shenanigans ensued. You cut a swath through the Feywild of death, destruction, and ashes before reaching the Summer Queen's castle and banishing her to Draxia's
The Shadow
lair,
Realm.
which seems to be Esther's go-to. He just seems to enjoy feeding people essentially to Draxia, who, being a goddess of destruction and chaos, was able to basically tear the Summer Queen apart and turn her into a clap-on, clap-off light, which the gang proceeded to kill her by clapping on and clapping off until she exploded. But with the Summer Queen gone, Vondis was to be the new Summer Queen, and thus it was to be and was to happen. But at the last moment, Baba Yaga contacted Alex, as Alex had originally foolishly gave Baba Yaga a moment of his time, which she used to take full control of his body, to pull out his gun, level it at Vondis's head, and blow his brains out with a high caliber round. However, because of a very good roll from Mav and quick thinking, Mav cut Headhunter's hand off, leaving him without a right hand, which is his main trigger hand and jerkin hand and dishwashing hand and what else?
Hugging.
I use my left hand.
Stranger. That's good. After you had lost your right hand, you sort of fell down kind of in shock, but Vondis exploded, but not in a bad way, and instead in a good way, into golden radiant fire, as he is now
Dead.
he is now solid gold and is the new Summer Queen of the Fae. And we left off with you all arriving back at Draxia's, as she, was like, cool, we did it. Look at me, I killed the Summer Queen. Isn't that fun? And I believe we left off with her clapping, or if we didn't, we left off with you there. But what we are going to pick up with is all of you being bamfed back out. Essentially, let's do at the Lacuna tree. Boom! You all are spit out at the Lacuna tree. Alex, you kind of fall to your knees. Your right hand is like, oh, it was he cauterized it with his little paw because he's like red hot, golden bunny. So he cauterized your wound, but it's still horrible, and you're still kind of bloodied. I don't know. The rest of you guys are pretty okay, right?
Does it look like Taco Tuesday?
Oh, we're level 20 now?
No, you're level 19. Stop it. But you all get spit back out at the tree, and there are hundreds of goblins milling about where you can see, probably thousands more where you can't. Many swinging around in the tree and flying around on massive bugs. It seems as though they have really been building things. They have more like scaffolding around the tree, and there's like broken pieces of vehicles and homes that they seem to have. It looks like they found where the gnome village was and just took it all apart and started building more stuff around. It's becoming more like a wicked, horrible goblin hub, and you can see larger hives of bugs that have started to grow on the tree itself, really sort of infesting it. So they've really made a home out of this. But it has advanced since the last time you've seen it. So it's definitely been longer than like a day since you've been gone.
Since you've been gone.
Time works differently in the Fae. And yeah, so there's tons of goblins milling about, and here you guys are. Oh.
Headhunter, what do you want to do about your hand?
Is it still actively bleeding?
No,
Or is it cauterized?
Cauterized it.
I guess I could have like a hook for now.
What about Winan? Can we get in
guess
touch with
it-
Winan? Does he have robot arms?
I could call and ask him.
Do you
We
wanna
have a
call
direct
one?
line to him right here.
You can either use Astrid or yourself. You want to?
With my cell phone?
Your
I don't care.
cell phone.
I could get. I guess Astrid should call him because that way he'd listen.
Do you call one, or do you refuse on basic principle?
Is he like connected to our comms?
No, you control him. You dipped your
I know.
finger
I
into his
control
mind.
him.
Oh,
But
Is
you
he connected to our comms? I
You
call
can-
him on the comms.
step into his mind.
you're probably too far for the comms. You're at the tree, and he's at Valnar. That's like miles and miles away.
Okay. Well, what am I telling him? Like, what do?
Can you get Headhunter a robot arm because he lost his?
Okay. Whining.
Yes, Miss Astrid. Oh my, it's been quite some time. How can I help you?
Can you get a headhunter a robot arm?
Oh, just a hand.
A robot hand?
A robot hand.
Yeah.
What?
Why? Don't ask questions.
Oh, I can absolutely get him a robot hand. It's just that, Miss Astrid, robots were created originally to control the minds of all the people that they found, and eventually will take over all sentient life on the planet. Did you know that? That they plot our demise
You
every
can't hear
step of
this.
the way. That this little mud ball of a planet is doomed if we continue our way of life and creating robots. And eventually they will create themselves, and then
I'm gonna take one of his own fingers.
What?
We can't hear this though, can we?
Headhunter knows Winan well enough that when Astrid's kind of just looking off at the middle distance,
He knows it's a
that Winan
tangent.
is just going off.
Don't you make robotic stuff?
Well, yeah, but that's mine.
All right, we'll make one of yours.
Oh, all right, sure, I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, I can do that.
Is there any way we can just cut off his hand and you can use magic?
What have you all been up to?
No.
I mean, if we
We'll see you
have
soon.
something, I might be able to heal
All right, well,
you.
portal's still
Would
available.
you be able to regenerate flesh though?
All right. He'll make you a hand. There were no specifications, so
It's
just
gonna be a little
Yeah,
dainty
yeah.
princess hand.
Porcelain.
There's a fire, his gun, it just shatters.
it's gonna be a gun hand.
It's gonna be a crab.
It's gonna
claw.
be one clawsome hand.
Once we get Headhunter's hand situation handled,
in hand.
I have some planning I want to do with the group as a whole.
Agreed.
Do you want to go? Do you want to go get his hand first, like as a
I
group?
think I think for his sake we
Trees
should
are
probably
still-
get his hand fixed.
Yeah, you want to? All right, you guys all want to go to Valnar?
Yeah, let's see how Valnor's do. Maybe we'll talk to
Arthur.
Wow, there's not a single thought between those.
Arnold. Arnold was what
Arnold.
in my head.
Arnold.
Arthur, not
Arthur.
Arthur.
I was close.
So you guys.
You and it was just like, like nothing.
I could picture the big devil from South Park with little reading glasses, but I couldn't remember his name.
Well, essentially, that's exactly what Arthur
I know.
is. Except, well, no, he's very well spoken in South Park. So yeah. So
Why do I have my sheet up there?
He's
not
just
as
a party
trusting
girl in South
as
Park.
Satan from South Park, though. Satan from South Park doesn't learn from bad relationships. Arthur's much better with relationships.
Ah, good to know. Good to know. Real lore there.
To be fair, he was abused by Saddam Hussein, so it's not entirely Satan's fault.
It's
It
it is. So as you guys
I
begin to
know.
make, as you guys begin to make your way towards the center of the Lacuna tree, bounding up to you quickly and viciously is a Canolith covered in armor. Very excited to see Mav and just tackles you, Mav, to the ground.
How long were we?
And
gone?
begins to just slap you with the giant tongue because that's how it
Beautiful.
shows its affection.
15 minutes.
Like I know it feels like months, but how long were we gone?
You don't know. You want to ask one of the goblins?
Sure.
There's one goblin who is he is currently taking 2 batteries and putting them on his tongue and just
Like AAA batteries?
like big like electrical weird batteries that he must have pulled off of something.
Hmm.
Probably ripped out of one of the helicopters or something that fell during the large scale fight. So he's sitting there electrocuting his tongue, but he's the first one there.
You. How long has it been?
You there, my boy.
Huh?
How long have we been gone?
Ah, I'm going. Oh, so many.
It's good.
So many. Oh, and he scoops up a bunch of dirt
Uh-huh.
and then puts the battery in it
Uh-huh.
and then offers it to you.
I don't take it.
He begins to eat the dirt
Okay.
and then he eats the battery
Okay.
and then he puts the dirt on his head
Okay.
and he gives you a thumbs up.
Okay.
And then he pulls out a knife and starts chasing a rat or a small whatever forest creature.
Mm-hmm.
Small corrupted forest creature.
Probably a bug, right?
No, this is like a rodent, but it looks like mangy and
Like a
nasty.
squirrel?
It has like purple eyes, and it's like and like running around like a mutant rat.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It looks horrible because of the corruption of the forest, which must have grown exponentially. What was that?
I don't know.
It was Jeff.
Oh, okay.
So he gives you that
Okay,
information.
jumpy.
But you guys continue to make your way into the tree. When you go up the tree in order to get to the topmost area in order to take the elevator down to the very heart and center. And as you reach the top area of the tree, you can see that there are a lot of goblins who are actually being trained in like rappelling. and you can see that they are making like no noise as they're rappelling down. And you can see some of them who seem to be training in like paratrooping as they jump off of the highest branch and start parachuting down, and they are trained to do it while aiming guns downward while still controlling, because they're nimble little feet. They can actually they're doing it upside down, so they'll parachute with their feet controlling the parachute and their arms holding guns.
Oh my
And
goodness.
you know that this is a joint effort, Alex, of the work of Shoot, who's a really good, marksman, and Mum, who you put in charge of like the stealth and assassin sort of group. And those goblins have been training and have actually gotten to the point that they can paratroop down like stealthily and rappel from walls and stuff and do other cool
Nice.
things.
I had a question about my hand. If I found another hand, could they do magic healing to fix it?
I mean, that's like
If you
part of
found-
my whole thing.
If you found someone else's hand, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Possible. You'd have to talk to them.
Hold on. Let me see what I can do.
Do you ask this while you guys are walking around?
Yeah.
And goblins are doing like training drills with like swords. You can see Slash like, and they're like thrusting at like these dummies and stuff that they're like slamming into as you guys are walking through. And you can see some goblins.
we still have-
wave at you?
Do we still have prisoners?
Is the keep right outside the tree?
Yeah, I
Is that
honestly
one
can't remember where last you put the keep. I think it was in front of the city, but we can say that you moved it.
Didn't you
just for-
summon it?
I put it in my world, but I can bring it back here
in the
since
Drow
we're
world.
getting ready for war.
Mhm.
Oh, you put it in
The
your Underdark?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
in his side
Do
quest.
you want to you want to like look out and bring it up? Okay, we could say that you brought it up. As you guys were walking your way up the tree, Esther was like, and it comes ripping. While you guys are like
Through his
talking,
pants.
you can just see the dark spires rising in the background as you're having sort of a nonchalant conversation.
All is right in the world again.
As the dust keep begins to rise. But yeah, so was there something you wanted to do with your castle?
Not right now, but I know in terms of taking inventory, we had a bunch of the free prisoners in the castle.
Free prisoners, the
So-
monsters that Astrid played, the monster that I played, all survived. So those are all good things to have in mind.
hmm Basically, anything that survived when we attacked the fortress city, and then the mine prison. That's like a bulk of our numbers, I think.
Okay, cool.
At the moment.
Yeah, I would say a lot of them
Yeah,
are
the
in and
gnolls.
around,
Yeah,
in and
gnolls.
around the
Goblins.
castle and the tree. What are you human?
Well, I could have swore that I literally had a thing that was
Read
like
Crete's
that.
Rotting Opus. It's not a spell.
Oh, that was
Go
nice.
into Crete's Rotting Opus, and I think it's near the bottom. It's called Take from the Strong, I think. But so you guys find your way to the center of the Lacuna tree. As you make your way down the elevator, Alex, roll a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage and subtract 5 because you've just gone through some decent rough business.
Yes, I can do this. If that is what you want. If you don't want a cool gun hand.
I can't see it.
Alex.
Did you roll
What
a
did I
natural
do?
1?
I can't see the dice. It rolled out. Oh, there you go. My
You rolled a
window's
1.
black. Oh, nice.
Roll a 1? So you guys are standing in the elevator. Alex, you're not feeling great, and Vondas is like
I lost a lot of
like-
blood.
is like, Alex, do you need anything? You look really pale, and more pale than usual, even with the radiation sickness that's kind of creeping into your body. And I just feel so guilty that you may have lost your hand, and I really want to. And in the middle of him talking, you just go and just puke all over the. He goes, oh God!
Projectile.
The what?
Projectile vomiting.
All over the wall, which you can see is stained from like his 2 or 3 other times that he's vomited, and no one's cleaned it up. It's just like rancid. It's
Gee.
horrific. And eventually you get to the bottom. Ding, as the doors open with this sad ding, and you enter the area with the Lacuna pool. You can see the two Shisuva are kind of sitting there waiting.
Can I dip my little nub into it? See what happens.
You dip your little nub in there really quickly, and
But what about his hand?
And you can see that it heals over the nub. It
Ooh.
doesn't regrow a new arm. So now it's like
So now I'm a smooth nub.
now
like
you
a
have a
Ken
smooth
doll?
nub, almost like it was always supposed to be.
Can I do my hand now?
Can you what?
I want to try my hand out now.
You're gonna get a handout?
What?
I mean, you gotta
Your
get a
left
hand.
I have my
first.
other nub
You
in
just
there.
have a hand on.
Jeff
you?
knew what I
Like,
was talking about.
About Winan's hand?
No, the dick joke.
Oh,
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
try
Your dick,
focus
your
on.
dick does dissolve off, unfortunately, and now that is canon. Headhunter, no penis.
no dick.
Oh, headhunter.
No.
Gone.
Headhunter,
Can I-
just concentrate really hard on magic growing a hand.
I'm gonna do that. Aneurysm.
All right, I want you to roll intelligence.
13.
You pop a few blood vessels in your eye
Nice.
as you, and I think you
Remember-
poop a little bit.
It's D&D. There's always a chance of something magical happening. But yeah, we gotta
Rolling
get
a
Winan's
20 on
hand.
that.
So you can see Headhunter sticking his nub in the water, and then sticking his hand in the water, and it just sort of grows over his wrist nub.
Do you want a hand?
Yeah, this kind of sucks.
Do you not want do you want a flesh hand or whatever Winan's gonna cook up for you?
I mean, a flesh hand would feel better, but did Winan say he would make me something?
Yeah.
He didn't communicate to us.
Oh, okay. I guess that's cool too.
You might put like little guns on the fingertips so they pop, pop, and then you got pew. Like, I don't know. Guns?
It's just a pop caps.
I would
Machine
just
hand
check
sounds.
it for-
Rubber bands.
for bugs.
Lego rubber band gun.
Yeah, that's cool too. How long is it gonna take him to make it though? Because if we could get a fleshy hand quicker and kill the king, because I don't know if killing the king with one hand is gonna be as easy as it.
Can
Sounds-
I detect thoughts for
You found one.
who's the leader goblin? Sneak?
Yeah.
I want to detect, or does it work like that? Can I find just any goblin that's in charge? I want
You can ensure that you can have any of them called down to you at any time. There's goblins just everywhere, so you can be like, you go get Sneak. They all know who Sneak is.
I want to do that to
so we
anybody
can
that's around me.
Is that who you want? You want Sneak to come down?
Hmm.
No problem. So just a few minutes as Alex is kicking his feet in the water, and Astrid is sort of reviewing her horrible tome made of bound skin and pages written with blood, as they're sort of discussing the intricacies of it. Eventually, down the elevator comes Sneak. As he comes in, you can see he has like this hood that he pulls over, and yay, you are back. Sneak missed you.
Sneak,
Yes.
do we have any human prisoners? Headhunter lost his his hand in battle, and we need to transplant it.
I mean, do you want a human hand?
Yeah, preferably.
We
Like.
we had prisoners, but all of them meet now.
Where's the part vault?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be a
The
living,
meat locker.
right?
What?
Doesn't have to be a living hand.
I don't know.
Where do you keep all the meat?
In the pile. In the pile. The
I-
meat
take,
pile.
take me to the
silly.
meat pile.
Let's go to the meat pile.
Sneak, how long have we been gone?
I'm
Many.
I was expecting
He's
so.
a goblin. Well, the thing is, he's a goblin, and you're asking him to do math. Like they can do simple shit, but
Yeah. It has been one entire of them, but not the entire of all of it.
One year.
It's been a month,
One
maybe?
month?
A day?
A moon?
No,
One moon?
no,
No.
One
the
sun?
other no. It's
12 moons.
when there's one of them, and it's a big one, and then all of the big ones until it starts new big ones.
Season.
Yes.
Headhunter, ask him what the word in goblin is.
What's the word in goblin is?
Oh my god, thank god. Okay, so here's what happened is it's been winter, summer, spring, it's been every season, so it has been about a year.
About a
I
year.
don't know how
See,
the
I
fuck
knew
to
it
talk to
was
these
right.
people.
It's
It is
been a
impossible
year?
to talk to these people because they just don't listen to me.
I know they.
I don't know
They're
how
so
you
dumb. I say that in common.
do it. Nobody ever listens to goblins.
Wow.
Yeah, well, when I get done killing the king, I'm gonna live here for good. I'll retire.
What are you looking at?
Whoa.
I thought your hair was doing the thing again.
Yeah.
All
There
right,
is-
where's this
there's
meat
lots.
pile?
Oh, he's talking to you, so
There's actually been a lot of war since you guys left. It's been awesome.
From who?
Awesome.
From
Well, that's what I
everybody.
mean by retire is continue fighting wars at this tree.
Just die defending the tree.
Yeah. Oh no, they haven't gotten anywhere near the tree. There's a lot of us now, and we're all over the forest. They can barely get through the forest. Remember?
That's
remember
awesome.
how there used
They
to be
took over the
scouts?
forest.
Now they can barely even get a few miles in before they're torn apart by corrupted beasts or twisted vines. And then we hunt them, and the forest likes us because the tree likes us.
If we've been gone for a year, it really sounds like we need to get
That's
someone
awesome.
who speaks common and give us an overall of what's been going on
Well,
in the
we
world.
can
Why?
talk to Arthur.
Why? What's wrong with Sneak?
Sneak's just been jibber jabbering and like goblin.
Like barking at
like,
each other.
Goblin definitely sounds like a more vile version of Danny for Donnie from the Wild Thornberries.
But it's like
Do you know?
So
who
yes,
was
that's what you're
voiced-
hearing.
You know he was voiced by Flea from the Chili Peppers?
That's
Really?
awesome.
That cannot be true.
No, Donnie was Flea.
I believe it.
I'm looking that up right now. Pause the game. Jeff, pause this in the real time.
Bad DM. You should have this
you.
info.
I'll do one of those like.
I should have the info on who voiced Donnie from the Wild Thornberries on hand.
You
for
should have,
just
like, a
such an
quick reference
occasion?
guide. That should be on there.
Matt Mercer would know who Donnie was.
That's because he's a voice actor.
Your words, not mine.
But I think Evan has better hair.
Holy fucking shit. He was voiced by Flea.
Yeah, Jeff said that like 10 minutes ago.
That's ridiculous. I thought it was a bullshit.
When have
know.
I ever bullshitted you?
Jeff won't lie.
You know how Jeff
Here's how you
lies.
know it's
Right? We all
serious.
know how Jeff
Quit
lies.
bullshit
Right?
about
We
Red
all
Hot
know that
Chili
Jeff
Peppers.
lies.
He only lies when he says he loves me.
Don't put me in a suit.
Just don't put me in the suit. Game on.
So, but yeah, so he's explaining to you there's been lots of war and it's been a lot of fun.
Have you heard from the king? Have they tried to like make peace with you at all? Or has it just been an onslaught?
no.
They want
We-
to rid them.
We've had to spread out a little bit.
Oh, he's talking to you because you okay.
We have spread out bit. They're people's different ones.
Why don't we just find someone who speaks common?
Why?
No offense, Sneak.
Well, I mean, he can talk to
Offense.
Headhunter, no problem. We can go to Valnar if we want to city
We're gonna
view.
go see Wynan anyways. Wynan would be able to give us a better idea of what's been going on
Snake
in
gives
the
us a
city.
more honest outlook, though.
Does Wynan even have the
about
ability to lie?
tree. This is about the tree. This is.
I don't think she likes goblins.
Yeah, I think Mal's racist against goblins.
Mav.
What did I say, Mal?
Mal.
Malv.
Mav.
You don't even know his name.
Who is that
Good
guy?
guy.
The tree very safe.
That's good enough for me.
Okay.
You know, you forget Alex and I, like, for different reasons, but it's like this is our like short-term retirement plan. We are protective of this tree, and I don't personally care so much more about the city at large unless we're attacking it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm not saying you should be upsetty spaghetti about the tree, but he's not going to know what's going on in the city, which is where our end goal is.
Yes, and that's true.
I could also always call Arthur on my OWO phone.
Call him on the OWO phone.
You want to call Arthur?
I'll call him in a little bit. We got to get a headhunter a hand, or this whole episode is going to be headhunter's hand doesn't even happen.
Yeah.
All right, you guys want to
How harrowing.
See, if it comes to the campaign, I don't need a hand. Like, I don't need an entire episode to be
That's
about
wrong.
me getting a
We-
hand.
We'll get you a
It
hand.
won't be if we start going. Stop
All
talking
right,
to every god.
how about we go see
Good,
what
my
more
boy.
we can do for you, and if you don't like it, we'll find you a person.
Okay. I just spent weeks on this. What do you think? Yeah, kind of sucks. I'll go find a flesh hand. You could have done that the whole time. All right, let's move.
So, you guys go to the teleporter, and with a flash of light and energy, you are bamfed into Wyden's new and improved. It's been a year. His new and improved shop. You pop up, and the first thing you see, first of all, it's marble floors, large walls, and a high arcing ceiling.
Oh, wow.
You can see that there are security cameras like everywhere, and there are no windows in wherever it is you are. You can see that it's sort of a hallway that stretches to an end. That's like one large door or doorway. You can hear what sounds like lots of noise coming from down there, and the other way ends in a solid wall. You can see that there are two guards that are standing on the other side of the door. These large gentlemen who have kind of glowing red eyes. They are human, they appear, but they have glowing red eyes as they like look to you, and they like look to each other, and they kind of nod and step on either side of the door. But the first thing that you can see when you erupt up here is each of the pillars that like rises up is a different Wynan statue. That's just like in different cool poses. Not you guys, even though this is your teleporter, it's all Wynan statues. But these two gentlemen like stand aside, and you can see them like, you know, sir, they've arrived. And then they, yeah.
Wynan.
You can step right through here, sir.
Sure.
You'll find him on the ground floor.
What are they? Just like human guards?
They look
Yes,
like
but
eyes.
there is
eyes.
something about them that seems nefarious, and they don't seem shocked to see you at all.
Wonder if they're like cybernetic from Wynan or like Arthur's insurance.
Well,
could
with
be
the
Arthur's.
conversation we just had, it better not be cybernetic.
You can ask them.
Are you a robot?
No.
Do you have free will?
What's going on up
Do
there?
we have free will, Tom? And he goes,
No, we have to pay taxes.
I think so, Jer. I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have free will. I mean, we're under contract.
What are their names?
Tom and Jerry.
Okay, that's what I thought.
We definitely have, you know, we're under contract to Arthur, but we can still do as we please.
Oh, they're Arthur's, you know.
Yeah, we're
Ooh.
fiends. Yeah, straight from Dis. Which, by the way, huge fan of your work. Huge fan of your
What did we
guys'
do?
work. What?
What did we do in this?
You single-handedly killed Tativolus, destroyed his tower, and now you have left a massive swirling vortex of radioactive destructive energy perpetually beaming through this very center of the city of
That
Dis.
doesn't sound like us.
I don't think I ever did get my mother those romance novels she wanted.
Okay.
It's gonna be
Tragedy.
so bad.
I'm sorry to hear that. But yeah, right through there. Once you find the elevator, just take down the ground floor and go into warehouse B. He should be waiting for you there.
He got his warehouses. Warehouses? Warehouses. Okay.
Where highs?
Well, he's actually expanded. He's actually expanded and taken over the entirety of all of the guilds. So every one of the guilds now bends a knee to Wynan.
Is that
And-
so?
Did he
Yes,
sell
he's
his soul?
actually dedicated.
That's really weird.
Yeah, especially because he's just like immortal. That is a little weird, but I mean, you want to talk about weird? We have to take orders from that fucking guy. Jerry, come on, man. You gotta watch what you say. Right, right. Yeah, Arthur. You know, we have to obey him, but
Okay, thanks.
I eat people like him. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I know you know what I mean.
Mhm.
So you guys go. You make your way out of this room, and you can see that it is a larger chamber. Think like kind of Bioshock-esque with like some of the architecture that he's made now, where it's very like cold and you know those like weird like Atlas sort of figures that are holding things, but they're him. They're
Did
whining,
we
like,
do this?
What?
Why is Arthur helping him? Did we do this?
No, he's done this in the year that you've been gone.
Arthur is the one who's taken over the town.
Yeah.
That Wynan is.
Oh no, Arthur.
We
You
told
haven't
him-
seen where Arthur lives yet. This is just where Wynan lives.
Yeah, we told him that Wynan was ours, so
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't think Arthur's been playing Sugar Daddy, if that's what you're thinking.
that's what I was thinking.
I don't think that
Maybe
that's
not.
the case.
Okay.
So you guys are walking through. There's people kind of bustling about. This seems to be some sort of top secret kind of R&D like area where there's it looks like researchers that are walking around, and they like stop and back up.
Dungeons and Dragons.
The what?
Dungeons and Dragons.
R&D.
Yes, absolutely.
That's kind of hip hop.
You can see that they all just sort of like stop and let you pass, like holy shit, as you make your way and you find this large elevator. There's a couple of common elevators, and then there's one large one in this big tube that has with like special like metal engraving all over it, and you can see that interwoven into it is all of your like figures. So like this is an elevator that no one else can touch. It's pretty much only for you. So you walk up to it. It already knows that you're coming and opens itself to you. You enter inside, and as it shuts, a tiny screen like and you know comes on, and a sort of feminine voice comes over and goes, "Greetings, Terrible Three."
And friend.
And I was gonna say, and the other one. Welcome.
You're all gonna
Welcome.
die down here.
Welcome to Cold Steel. Where is it you'd like to go?
Wait, is that copyrighted?
Stop it.
Coldstone, right?
Stop it.
We're in the creamery.
You take 6 electric damage as it
Ah!
electric.
Ah!
My nub.
We want to go to Wynan.
Very well. He is in warehouse B. Hold. What?
Is that the ground floor?
Yes.
Okay.
Any more questions?
No.
Good. You must be the one he talks about. Let's go. And the elevator and starts like going through
Wonka
this
Vader.
like almost like Willy Wonka style where it like moves around. And before you know it, it ding and kind of stops. Alex, it's not magical, but it is uncomfortable, and I would like to take a Constitution saving throw from you, just flat out. You guys arrive as it kind of lands down and ding. You have arrived in warehouse B. Wynan should be in here. He is expecting you.
I could get a 5.
The doors open as
Plus
you guys
12.
are trying to avoid the smell of Alex.
And that's
the
gonna
AI
shake
goes-
back up through the system.
the AI goes, "Oh, good," as you.
Hey, Astrid, when we're done with Wynan, make him have a CEO moment and go like jerk off on a corner somewhere. He's getting way too big for his britches with all this shit. Take him down a
You-
couple pegs. Make him stay away from the media for a week.
The doors open and you see this massive floor, right, where there's these it is tons of like conveyor belts and large machines that seem to be fabricating and creating shields, armor, swords, guns, and all sorts of like ordnance and stuff, as it just seems to be creating weapons of all different kinds and being inspected by various people who are all along these lines, and sort of ensuring that they work correctly, that there's no problems. And as you can see, waiting there in a very fine business suit with an entourage of 4 of these large humans is Wynan, as he has like an earpiece, and he goes,
Well, all right, but I expect it to be done. Or expect it to be done really soon. Well, because they're back, so they're gonna demand it. Well, of course, that's why I told you to hurry up. All right, we'll just make sure it's perfect. It's got to be perfect. Miss Astrid definitely requires things to be perfect. All right, good. And hello. Welcome back. My goodness, can I get you anything? You want like a drink?
Way too happy.
Or you
to
want
see us.
do you want food or anything?
Happy or nervous?
Are you still employing the dark dwarves or whatever they were called? Russian dwarves?
Oh, yes, we do. But they're in a different warehouse. They want to get back to Holy Stone Mine, but it's been kind of tough. It's hard to win it back. The King's forces have been blocking it. You've been away for a while. Are you aware of what's going on?
No.
That's
We're in
why we
full
wanted to
scale
come
war.
here and talk to you.
Talk to him, Mal.
We're in full-scale war. Arthur's forces are battling the King's regularly. The King's army is massive.
So he knows about Valnar?
He does now. He does now. He knows about Valnar. He's trying to take back Holy Stone Mine. That's a constant struggle that is there. Yorkport was his, so all of the armies from Yorkport are coming down, but they're currently getting fucked and ravaged by that Mind Flayer chick and that horrible toad
Stillport.
monster that you relieved. Huh?
How's Stillport?
So Stillport is no longer called Stillport. It's called Stormport. And now it's a place where it was horrible monsters and storms, but it looks like a large group of Vikings have moved in from Brune. They heard about it. They thought it sounded pretty nice, so they hooked their way up and took over the place. So any semblance of the King's men, they're dead. However, they don't really work with us. Arthur will employ them from time to time. He pays them. They're mercenaries, but they do good work, and they're actually the ones that cleaned out Enlit. So all the military that were in Enlit, they came over, got everybody, killed everybody, and yeah. Now your big guy is there, Gore, right?
Oh, he went back home.
He's hanging out in Enlit, yeah. So some of you people are spread out a little bit, but that's because they're holding down the fort in different areas, making sure that the king doesn't, take over.
The Vikings, that's foreshadowing for the next campaign.
Shut up.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
Campaign.
Where's the hand?
Yeah, we need a hand.
Yes, of course,
Give
of
us a
course.
hand.
And he claps his
that's
hands,
why
and
we
one of the bigger guys just and pulls out a large suitcase, and they open. You can tell that they like just are fucking annoyed by him because they're all like demon possessed humans, and they open up this massive case, and you can see within it this like
Infinity Gauntlet.
no this like gnarly looking like metal hand, and he goes, so it's pretty cool. It works the way a normal hand should, which is difficult. You should be able to control it with, just with a little bit of practice, and you'll be good as new. You spend a few hours here and there working with it, and you should be able to use it like a regular hand.
Can I flump it on?
Sure, here. And he gives it to you. He's like, right now, it does have to connect to your nerves. So, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He flips a switch and then goes and stands behind one of his men. As you're like, why did he? And it starts drilling into your arm, and like pieces start digging into your hands, finding your nerves and connecting to them. And you're just like, yeah, the pain is horrible. I'd like you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Do I poop myself?
With disadvantage. This is
Stinky.
4.
okay. You, Alex.
You said with disadvantage. I could still roll a 1.
Get bloody shit.
Why are you rolling?
Hey!
So, why are you rolling so low? Where are you adding?
Get it out of your system now.
I'm not. I didn't add my con.
Oh, you're just rolling. Okay, fuck it.
Yeah.
So you roll natural, and Alex, you're a tough guy. You know, you've been shot, you've been stabbed, you had an angel hit you in the face with a holy hammer, knocking your fucking
Forgot
teeth
about
out. You're a tough fucking guy. All of you have never seen Alex because it was a surprise, maybe because you're not in battle mode, maybe because it's not an enemy.
Because the wound is still like hurts.
You just watch as Alex is standing there and goes, yeah, this is fun. And he just starts squealing like a child. And some of the people at the conveyor belts are like, what the fuck is that? Some of wine and security is like, oh man, that's rough. And so you just as blood pours out of the
juicer.
And you just
Phantasm.
fall on the ground. Yeah, so that's all that happens is you scream like a little girl.
I got pissed myself.
And you okay? Yeah, sure. You piss yourself. you bet 100%, buddy. You want to piss yourself? You got it. You piss yourself. And Winan peeks around, and as you're like, he like locks eyes with you and goes,
"How does it work?"
So it works. It works. It's not quite as good as your regular hand, but you can tell that with practice and with time, you'll be able to really, get better with it. Your hand.
Is there a vibrate mode?
No, there's a juicer mode though.
Wrong button.
One night late in the barracks.
No!
Can I?
You will have to spend about 5 days working with it to get up to completely.
I could do that in one night.
5 days. That's tomorrow.
So 5, your downtime. If you spend your downtime working with this hand, it'll be back to full capacity, and you won't roll with disadvantage when you attack.
Nice.
Can I give him I have a hollow trainer for monkness.
Give him the trainer back.
Can I give him the hollow trainer back? Will that help at all? Oh, there goes.
Oh, I like that actually. Because it's unarmed attacks and stuff, that's actually pretty clever. I'll say that if you have the monk training, I'll cut that time down to just 3 days.
4 days and 20 hours.
No, 3 days.
Okay.
So let me X-nay that. So sure, yeah, we'll say that Mav, you give him the hollow trainer. That's clever. Okay. Right, so you guys are muted. I can't hear you if you're talking. She was right. So there's your hand. We've got Miss Astrid, as you can see, we've got plenty of weapons. We're constantly pumping out weapons as Arthur constantly keeps pumping out soldiers. We are recruiting from any of the refugees that are trying to escape. We're enlisting them, which is great. He's getting them possessed, what have you. There's a whole re-education system to battle the other re-education system that they had, where we're trying to break the chains of their minds in order to free them. You did a lot of that work with Holy Stone Mine. A lot of those prisoners have come to fight with us. It's looking pretty good. We're actually doing a pretty good job. The king's forces are huge, and he just keeps getting more people. But yeah, if you guys like, we could probably talk to Arthur and work out what now that you're back, what the next plans of attack are.
I think that's a good idea because he can probably get his secretary to get everyone else from the far reaches that we need. Didn't we have like a big group of people like Vampire Boy and some kind of bounty hunter lady that are all over the place? We could call them all back and get them to give us a heads up on what's going on. And
Avengers assemble.
Jeff, you know how you have your keep?
Mm-hmm.
We should just have like massive barracks inside of there for every like faction that we own.
Yeah.
So when it comes time to wage war, we could just open the gates and let everybody flood.
Definitely like a warship of sorts.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so you're all going to head over talk to Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's great. Is there anything that you need from me?
Yeah.
In the meantime, yeah, absolutely. Anything you want, Miss Astrid. You got it.
Destroy your AI.
What? Karen?
Mhm.
You want me to destroy Karen? Why?
He has an AI.
The elevator.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. Destroy the AI.
Esther's. I like to imagine that that's just true in canon, and Esther has no idea what's going on half the time because he's just sort of staring at the sky.
Wait,
Like-
you know me, the player. I fucking remember everything.
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
Esther's always like,
there's a what? What's going on? Well, sure. Did something happen?
she's compromised.
Oh my goodness. All right. Yeah. No.
Yeah, she's a robot spy.
No problem.
Mhm.
I'll get rid of her. All right. Yeah. Absolutely. Is there anything else?
You got a lot of statues of yourself everywhere.
Isn't it great? I've always wanted statues of myself. When I was living in
You know what would be better?
yeah.
Statues of us.
Well, I guess we could do statues here. I guess we could do that. Is that what you really want? Is that what you really want? Statues of you?
He's questioning you.
I can make
Wow.
statues of you. I can make statues of you.
Is there any statue near
Miss
us?
Astrid, can I have still a few statues to myself, please?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. You want your that whole way lined up with statues of you instead? I thought maybe when you come back, you'd like to see how strong I've become and how successful I've been.
Okay.
You know, did you see that? How
You should
did
have
you see how
statues
successful
made
I've
into
been?
inappropriate.
No, this is an expensive suit,
Statue.
right?
Just don't forget how you got there.
Wine and having
Absolutely.
Stockholm
Absolutely.
syndrome for Astrid.
That's the
Our dog is
ever. It's so good.
Yeah, no problem. I'll make new statues for you right away.
Yep.
Yeah,
Do you remember the first part?
to destroy the AI.
Mhm.
Right. All right.
Mhm.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course, Miss Astrid. Yeah. All right. Well, Arthur is in the town hall, which has changed a bit. You will see it when you leave the building.
Are there any stone winding statues nearby?
Yes, at the entrance. So the front bit, the big front doors to this. There's one where he's standing, where the front doors like are underneath his straddled legs, as he's standing there like this, like a big hero overlooking the workers.
Hey, Winan,
Yes.
look at that.
Isn't that a great one? I
I
have
want to animate object and make it punch itself in the dick, and then just take a tumble off its platform.
That was the orphanage.
Point taken. Yeah, no problem. I'll destroy those and we'll put.
Hey,
Do
bye,
you
Winan.
want, do you want to be up there, Esther?
What?
Do you want to be up there? You want me to make a statue of you? All right. And you'll get plenty of statues, Miss Astrid. You'll get the most. Unless you don't want the most. He's sweating profusely and ruining his very expensive suit.
He has
$5,000
makeup
suit.
on.
As he does. He
Makeup.
definitely has. His mascara is running and his foundation is like peeling off his skin. He's just and it's just like a smear. Well, do you need any help getting to Arthur's? Okay, all right. Did you want any food or drinks?
Just as we're leaving, like, it's just getting a little too comfortable.
Do you say that to him?
Not to him.
Oh, okay.
To everybody else.
Just watch your back all the time.
You guys exit to find that behind you, he has taken over what used to be this large circular sort of bazaar that was where all of the guilds. He took over about half of it and extended out, destroying the buildings behind it, making this massive sort of semicircular structure that houses all of his factory warehouses and such. Massive complex. And you can see that the very top, it still said he kept the name Cold Steel, but there's it says Winans Cold Steel. He made sure to put his name above
This
Cold
was like the
Steel, and you
best
can
year
see-
of his life, and now we're just back.
You're back to ruin. It really was. As you guys exit, though, you can see Valnar before you. It has changed. The multicolored flags that used to fly atop the buildings representing the different teams of sports ball, they are still there, but the colors have changed and the flags look a bit tattered. The stadium, which you can see far off in the distance, has taken on a more uncomfortable or kind of scary looking visage, as there's sort of large spikes that kind of grow from it, and you can hear what sounds like horrid roars and chanting coming from it as there's some sort of game happening. The people of Valnar are still walking around, but it does not seem like Aristride's influence is here anymore. This
Great.
looks more like a regular city, or should I say less than that. The ground and the streets are kind of clean for the most part, but not as nice as they were. But you can see that there's like more people that are wandering around, like whereas the homeless were always placed in a home, Valnar was the city for beggars, where everybody was placed. Now it's almost like a fend for yourself kind of situation, where they just like don't care. And you can see that there's different kinds of races of people, and you can actually see there's a few hell scum that have made their way up here from hell. Some of the creatures that you've fought when you were venturing in hell. So clearly they people that wanted out of Dis, but aren't like big demons or anything. They're like low level things that can come and go easier. Tieflings like yourself, a lot of tieflings in this city, and you can see that there's a lot more infernal influence kind of creeping through this city ever so slightly. And you can see on the horizon, kind of in the not in the center of the city, a little further back, you can see what looks like a massive fortress, akin to something you would see in the city of Dis, but it's a massive iron fortress, with large spiked towers. That's definitely where he is. So as you make your way through the city, because there's nothing you guys want to do in the city, right?
No.
We'll just get you there. As you make your way through the city, you can see that it is taking on more of infernal qualities. There's people doing like there's like fights that break out in the streets every once in a while. You see the presence of what looks like gangs beginning to like kind of creep in and become more prevalent. As you walk through the city, what you notice too, probably more than anything, is people seem to recognize you and give you a wide berth. Everybody seems, whereas before you hid yourself in this city when you were working for the underboss or searching for her, now you walk down the street and people who are driving vehicles will pull their vehicles over so you can walk past them. Everybody moves aside for the terrible three.
And friends.
And
It's better if they don't know about me.
That's that's kind of what I like, is that they were the terrible three before Mav, but Mav is like stealthy. So like I love that you're not even in the name. You're so fucking sneaky. Like, they don't see you coming. I like that. But as you walk through, it's clean and easy to get where you're going. Nobody fucks with you. Nobody bothers you. So eventually you make your way to the fortress. It is as though you are expected. Standing at the door is a large, kind of powerful looking woman with glowing red eyes, and you can see she's in like full armor with a large axe, and she kind of like lets out this sort of inhuman guttural growl as she looks to you and opens the door, this massive metal door, with her fist or with her hand. You guys walk in, and as you walk in, you can tell that the room you enter is not the room that other people would enter. It's almost like this place is heavy with magic, and you are walking into that very usual waiting room that you've seen so many times back down in hell, where it opens. There's this large sort of chamber. There's very comfortable couches on the side. There's a few coffee tables. There's a table of refreshments. And there is, of course, His assistant's name is Karen, right? I'm not.
I'm pretty
I was gonna
positive
say-
it's Karen. It's either Karen or Sharon.
I'm
There's a lot
pretty
of
sure it's.
Karen.
I'm pretty sure it's Karen. So I'd like to think that Winan named his AI Karen because he wants to be like the underboss. He wants to be like Arthur. So Karen is sitting there, and you can see she's like writing something. Just
Did you miss us?
no.
Is he busy?
Not for long. Have a seat.
Have sex.
It's been a while.
How are you?
Good.
You know that bit in King of the Hill where they're all like standing outside with the beers and they just go,
Yep.
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 Mhm. That
Mhm.
that.
Yep.
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 Mav shoving like a cannoli in his mouth. Just,
Where'd you get that?
there's refreshments. Or are you paying attention to the words of the DM?
When Esther goes to grab a refreshment, Karen goes, "Those are for guests."
Aren't we guests?
I'm guessed that you're not. Oh.
That's right.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Refreshments. It's always like, it's like supposed to be refreshing, but they're always like heavy pastries with a grease or something, you know? And it's like if it was like a glass of
Nice.
It's got to be nasty looking because he's got no lips, so the cannoli cream is just like.
The pieces are falling out for sure. For
it's
sure.
like instead of
Anything-
cannoli getting sucked into a vacuum.
What makes it worse is pieces that are falling out. The symbiote, like, and it's like eating off of him, like pieces of it are like lopping it up. Eventually, you hear a loud and horrifying scream.
Mm.
And then the little skull that's on Karen's desk, the eyes like, and its mouth like, and you hear Karen, you may send them in. And she goes, "Oh, yes, sir. Go ahead."
Mav takes another cannoli for the road.
Oh, grab one of the sugar cookies too. They're really good.
He just
Yeah.
keeps piling.
Not
like-
you. She has a whip and she whips your hand, Esther, as you
Bull
drop it. Cause I can't remember she's like a monster that has they're like Wonder Woman, but they're devils. I can't
Humongous
remember
Wonder
what they're
Woman
called.
devils.
Cambrions or something like that is what she is.
Covids.
Anyway, they're like half devil.
Amazonians.
So you guys enter extravagant office. I mean, this office screams big boss. Not only is there like fine, massive oak desk, it looks solid, but it looks as though it's reinforced as the legs aren't oak but pure bone of some great beast that end in skulls for the bottom places. You can see on the front of the desk, sort of as an intimidation, is this large ornately carved devil's visage with eyes that seem to drip blood into its mouth that seems to pool and doesn't pour out. You can see that around this large room there is beautiful works of art and beautiful works of torture, as there is what looks like was once living things that were stretched to unnatural sort of angles, broken. You can see a torture wheel with a creature that's sort of broken around it, and every once in a while it like
sex
it's still
dungeon.
alive. What?
A sex dungeon.
Oh, it's kind of
Arnold
but
sex
more
dungeon.
for torture and death than sex. So it's minus all the fun parts. So, but also beautiful landscape.
One single roller coaster track in the background. This was a little fun.
So, yeah, all kinds of beautiful, horrible shit. And he is sitting there, and before him is a man that seems to have had both of his arms broken backwards by chains that had shot out of this otherwise pristine wooden floor and had gripped his arms and snapped them, and he's now holding them. And you can see that he is wearing fine blue and gold sort of robes as he is like, that must have been the scream.
What is
Behind the desk sits Arthur, no longer disguised as the underboss, now fully his massive fiendish form, somewhere between a pit fiend and a Baylor. This huge beastly creature with small little blue spectacles.
Ah, welcome. It is good to see you all again. Please, please step forward. Mind not this insignificant creature. Instead, tell me, how have you been?
Pretty good. Also, Manos.
What?
what?
More or less. Good.
So or so.
Ah, Espanol. I do not speak it.
So
Spanish, the language of love.
Hence, I do not speak it.
We were wondering if we could possibly have your audience, as well as the audience of others across the continent?
I don't know what you're asking for.
I don't know. The world structure is confusing to me. We need to get everyone together who's important to discuss how we're going to be attacking Dingle Dongle.
All right. You wish to bring the fight to the king.
King Hammurabi.
That's not.
As per our agreement, I ensured not to try and overthrow Erangel. As I do believe part of our original agreement was that you would kill the king and not myself, or do with the king as you will.
and the small man who's shackled to the ground goes, "You will never kill the king. He is the," and he snaps his fingers, and the man's tongue and a bunch of his teeth fly out of his mouth as he, and you can see Arthur just goes, as the guy screams like, that's good.
This is just like Monsters Inc.
It
Shot for
is
shot.
like, can I be perfectly honest with you? I love
that movie.
One of my favorite. I just adore Sully. What a wonderful person that is. And fuck Randall. Anyway.
Have you ever seen Marley and Me?
He looks to ensure that the large doors have shut, and he goes,
Esther, we've all seen Marley and Me, but you really can't mention that movie in front of Karen. I'm not kidding. She will fucking kill you with her bare hands.
She had a golden
Listen,
retriever.
I'm really powerful. I'm more powerful on paper. I should be able to crush Karen, no problem. I mentioned Marley and Me. I almost died. I have so many runic protections protecting me and my person. She almost killed me. Don't, just please.
Now I know how to get to her heart.
No.
Don't.
If you want to be serious, Evan will destroy this whole campaign just for that joke. So just understand, don't say Marley
Evan?
in front of her. So
Let's go save the universe.
yes.
So I have not assaulted the king or Erangel, but I must confess, his defenses are impressive, and his prowess as a general, I can see why he was able to rule this kingdom for so long. We have lost a decent amount of battles, but we have won many more. He has not come close to conquering this city. Barely ever even reached its gates, but he is still difficult, still a very dangerous enemy.
That's why we need to get everyone together so that we can go over a game plan. Do you
Very
think
well.
that Karen could put out the call for us for everyone to come to the tree?
Copy all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He presses this large skull that, yeah.
Karen, I'm going to need you to contact a few people. I would say if you could try to reach the vampire, Eddie Smith. It was a mind flayer, wasn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah. I believe her name was Magdalene. Call Magdalene the Mind Flayer, Vorkath the Dread Slod, and
I read it.
What about the
as
giant
dread
froggy?
salad?
and there is one other. Corlox the Betrayer. If you could call them here.
If you could also get the leader of the Knolls on the line, that'd be great too. Thanks.
And the Whopper.
Captain Mulch.
Captain Mulch as well.
So we're doing a proper war room then.
Yeah,
ready.
we're gonna make a big old table.
You're gonna have a ice cream
That's
social.
it.
Very well. I'll tell you what. I'm going to make the arrangements with Karen. There's something I need to speak with her about regardless. In the meantime, have a seat, enjoy yourselves, and if you wouldn't mind, or rather my gift to you, this creature you see before you is one of the king's emissaries. He had sent him to Valnar to... what was it?
And he snaps his fingers, and all of the teeth and the tongue fly back into the guy's mouth as he as he spits up blood, and he goes, I was to deliver a message to you and the terrible three.
Ah, yes. So I think it's only fair that you also hear this message. Now then.
And he stands up, his massive form kind of towering over you guys as he walks past you with this large sword and a large flaming whip on his on either side of him, and wearing a very fine suit over his giant, horrible red body. And he walks and goes, kind of takes his glasses off and folds them into this little tiny pocket.
Do with this creature what you will, and get any information that you deem necessary from him. I'll be right back.
And he leaves the room. Now, all of you are standing around this man, this emissary. Is there anything you'd like to do?
So what's the message?
Ask him the message.
Message.
Right. The king had sent me to, as a protected messenger, not to be harmed, that I was to inform you
The devil's in the details.
that though you had caused great and undue pain to all of Mercelia, and though your crimes can never be forgiven, he offers his hand in mercy one last time. He says unto you, vile creatures, that he has within his grasp a weapon so terrible and so righteous that you will never hope to defeat him. He warns you that if you shall march on Erangel, that the true fury of Aristride will fall upon you.
Wait, group huddle. All right.
Yes.
I want to
You
speak
guys
to.
did a Scooby-Doo like over to another side of the room as he, what?
So I don't want him to hear this, but what if we take his offer as a ruse just to get in?
I was gonna suggest something like that since I've been known to not enjoy your company in the past. But however, they do have very strong mind control magics, and I don't think
What was that first?
we're not gonna talk about the first part. I shove a sugar cookie in Esther's mouth. I think with their mind
Somewhere
control
Karen
magic,
gets upset that you, for some reason, she gets mad. She doesn't know why. Go on.
I don't think it would be smart for us to do that because it's entirely possible that they'd say, "Oh, okay, you want to come in? Time for us to dingle your brain," and then what? Our brains are dingled, and then
We
what?
could wear tinfoil hats.
Why didn't you give us tinfoil hats?
I don't think that's how that works.
You can just dominate him.
Who?
Astrid, if
This
you,
guy?
Yeah.
No, we can do that.
if you dominate one of us, would that, would that erase the possibility of anyone else being able to mind control?
Yes, that was the experience with Alex in the past. You actually were able to rip mind control from Wild Hawthorne by taking over Alex because he was willing. He could choose to fail the save, and you can take over. while Astrid controls you, no one else can control you.
Yeah, I'm strong.
Her mind control is too strong.
Then that is a possibility.
We know that for a get out of jail card. I want to look at the prisoner guy. And look back into the
I'm
huddle.
sure they'd know for some unknown dumbass reason, but
That you would have mind control.
mhm.
You can ask this guy.
Because DM.
Head game.
Now, I am not allergic to a good old fashioned
Scooby-Doo.
con.
I was
To try to outdupe the main bad guy with a classic no you don'ts. That's fine.
Trojan horse.
Why do you think I'm an asshole?
He'll
You know?
he'll never believe it. You know what I mean? But I mean, I can do that. if we-
Mav pokes his head out of the huddle. What are you to the king? You general?
What's a god to a non-believer?
Does
Me?
he expect you to
Just
come
dude.
back alive?
He's a little
Well,
Or
confident.
come back at all?
Well, that was the idea, yes. I was trying to be civil
You know what? We're
savages.
probably not gonna go for a while.
But
I'm
I
just
was-
gonna do it. I'm gonna dominate him.
What do you mean? You snap your fingers at him and you go to dominate him, and it does not work on him.
Ooh.
Ah, I can see you poking and prodding at the solid gold surface of Aristride's glory. You cannot hope to control
Here,
my
let
mind.
me try
It is-
something. Let me try.
I undid
up his
the
butt.
best of all of the re-education. It did fuck my head a little bit, and now sometimes I can't smell. or spell,
Oh,
but-
we went through that too, but we beat it.
Well, it has become so much stronger that those that are under its sway cannot be swayed
How
any
does
other
it
way.
feel not to be your true self anymore?
I am my better self. You know nothing, creature.
Wait, so, go on.
If we-
Mav walks over and just gets kind of like stands next to this guy on the ground. What are you gonna say before I do what I'm gonna do?
If you are going to kill me, I will accept my fate gladly, as I have done
we're,
this work
we're
in
not gonna
Aristride's
kill
name.
you.
Well, that's
I
nice.
don't-
That's
Torture
good,
me.
okay.
Don't kill
Hold
him.
my
Your
nipples if
hand's
you must.
filling your
You'll
head
never
with
get nothing out of me.
nonsense.
Torture me! He must torture me!
You
don't
blew
want
up
to.
a city, several cities. You blew up one city, you destroyed another city with an earthquake.
Hey, wait, so
Poor man.
can the king wormhole through his little pawn here? Can he see us right now?
Like he's a robot.
Not
Oh,
that
you
I'm
do that to
aware.
Winan? I don't know how this works.
No. That's not. Aristride sees all, but the king does not.
I guess
as
you could
far as
talk to
I know.
him. You want to talk to him?
I want
I don't know how you could ever hope to hear Aristride's words.
Oh, we've heard him before.
That's nonsense.
I want to just minor illusion in front of his face, like with the monkeys getting the rage virus and 28 days later. Just the flashing images.
Why? What are you? What is the goal?
Fuck him, I don't know.
Screw his
I have
mind.
nothing. I don't want to kill him though.
Are you just trying to spook him?
Yeah.
Ah! Stop it! That is
What are you gonna do?
as vile as I thought you'd be. You're trying to show me.
okay. So we know the guy's arms are broken, right?
Fucking baby.
They're super broken.
All right.
I'm
I'm
in
gonna-
I'm an excruciating
Starting to
amount.
smell like cabbage.
Mav is
This
gonna
is almonds.
Mav is gonna pop a squat in front of the guy.
Gross.
Not like that. And he's gonna be like, all right,
You're wearing leather pants. I can see everything. What is wrong?
everything. Mav is literally super emaciated. Everything is like the hip socket like holes that he has because he's got no.
It's
nothing.
awful.
Do you smell him?
I don't want
It smells like cannoli and sweat.
like a preschool gymnasium with the feet smell and children's sweat.
Dirty mop.
Anyways,
Dirty mop.
Are you one of the one they call Astrid's pets?
we're gonna ask you questions and you're gonna answer them. And I want to tell the symbiote to like
The images are still just flashing.
goop
I
around.
might go blind from this.
It's gonna goop around his feet. And then I'm gonna ask, what are you to the king?
I am an ambassador to the city of Eric. God, oh
I'm looking at eye surgery right now with this. Stop. I'm an ambassador to the city of Erangel. I am one of the most
That's all I need to know.
prestigious-
What do you
okay.
know about this weapon?
Not much about it, but I can tell you that it's extremely
Mav
powerful.
is gonna use the symbiote to crush his feet until all the bones break. What do you know about the weapon?
In all honesty, the only thing the king has worked on it in secret, and he has been like a hermit held up in the castle working on it for, well, the entire year and since before the terrible three even showed up.
While he's talking, I want the goo to climb up his legs slowly.
Oh, it burns a little. All that we know is that it is something so potent and so powerful and so righteous that it will not only end you all, but if he needs to, he can ensure that the reign of Aaron Stride will pour across the lands.
Why hasn't he used it then?
Because he doesn't want to kill all of the people that are his people.
It's a halo weapon.
He doesn't care.
It kills the
How
food
dare
source
you,
of us by
King
killing
Tanagar
everybody.
cares for
Do you
every
know-
man,
He
woman,
wouldn't sacrifice everybody just to kill us.
Do you know how many of his own
He's
people
immortal.
over these past years?
All the champions
Go
were
ahead,
before we
tell
got
me.
A lot.
That's not true.
It is.
It's not. Prove it.
Mav is gonna crush his
The
calves.
champions have killed a lot of innocent people.
No, they haven't. They would never.
Can Jeff, with your encyclopedia brain, can you tell me a moment where one of the champions may have killed innocent people? Like the tidal wave just keeps coming to mind for me, but I don't know if actual people died in that. It's
Yeah,
been so long.
What about the lady who got blinded and we ended up chopping off her head? Didn't she kill people?
Oh, well, I mean, one of your own was a brainwashed idiot. One of the champions was neutered against their will powerfully. It's probably the same for you. You're the ambassador and you're brain locked by the king.
I
No?
was re-educated to become
How
pure.
are we fixing that? Should we bring him back to the tree and dip him in the pool?
What if we just
Dip
hit
me
him-
in the what? Fucking dip me in the who?
What if we just hit him really hard in the head? Headhunter, do you want to try your robot fist?
Can I punch him in the temple?
All right,
Percussive mate.
roll strength.
We kill him.
It just results to comical.
Being in a car accident.
Actually, it should be under your character. There should be an unarmed option. What does it say? Can you see that?
Do y'all mind if we take a quick break?
You
at
take off
9?
your
Oh,
arms.
Yeah, I was actually. You know what? I'll be honest, Talia. I was thinking about ending it pretty soon anyway, so that
Valid.
we could kick off.
No, Valnor. Man, turbo
Alright,
punch
it's-
today, am I right?
Your
It
unarmed
says just 7 damage plus 12 to hit, and I rolled it too.
You don't. He's right there. So he just. Well, I don't see how. Oh my god! As you just hear boom from a metal as his nose is crushed, and he goes, "Oh, praise him!"
Do y'all need him?
Oh.
I'm inclined to let the symbiote eat him.
I am not finished with my message.
Well then fucking hurry up, let's go!
Well, I was trying, and then everyone was so mean.
Juice goose.
He extends his hand in mercy, and he says unto you that he respects all that you've created, that you had shown and given mercy and homes to the creatures that had long since been seen as nothing but a nuisance to the kingdom of Mercelia, and that he says unto you that he may take mercy upon these creatures if you, yourselves, the terrible three, turn yourself. I don't know what that thing is, but the terrible three. He looks to Mav and like, I don't know what that thing is, but if you, the terrible three, turn yourselves over to him.
I mean, don't you see the own problem with the words like you're speaking? Doesn't that directly go against everything?
George Tanagar understands that though Aristride is perfect, we are not. And a lot of the decisions made to create this kingdom were his
If we're
own.
not perfect, and that's okay.
Hmm.
Why would he re-educate you?
That's most likely what he plans to do with all of the vile creatures that you have in your employ.
But
Instead of kill
that's
them.
not understanding or accepting imperfection.
No, it's not. It's improving.
No, it's not.
Don't you see that he knows better? Astrid knows better than all of us.
Inside
And he
you're
knows,
screaming.
he knows how to make us better.
Can I eat him?
You want to send him to Draxia?
That's that's literally, can I be perfectly honest with you? That's the last place I would like to
Do
go.
you think maybe she can fix him?
Maybe she can like reverse engineer.
We never asked her if she had any kind of abilities like that.
I was only a messenger.
We're trying to help you, man.
I just want
Matt
to
wants
take.
to eat you.
Whatever your pet is awful. I just want to take your message, your reply. Do you accept the king's invitation to have yourselves slain
Very
in the
merry
court?
little Christmas.
And then he will
That's
take mercy.
the message.
He will take his mercy. Yes, you have
That's
yourself.
the message.
It's either re-education or being slain for you, but it's re-education for all the creatures that you've created and the creatures that you've given a home to. You need only to come and meet the king and bow to him.
What's the king's biggest weakness? We'll set you free.
He doesn't. He looks at you and then he looks at the rest of you like, what the fuck is this guy's problem?
Matt shakes his head.
He looks dizzy and he's
Okay,
bleeding out.
no,
the mouth.
the king is very partial to sweets. How's that? The king loves a good cookie.
The king's weakness is his fucking ego.
The king has no ego. He's
Here.
above it.
All right, here. I want to. Does I said Arnold again? Does Arthur have like sticky notes on his desk?
Of course.
I want to take a note and say, "Do not eat. Reverse engineer king mind control?" Question mark. And I want to walk over to this guy, stick it on his forehead, and then try to banish him to Draxia.
You're writing to Draxia, do not eat him. And you're telling a god not to eat it. Hey, don't eat him. Listen, god.
Esther's lunch. Do not eat.
So you put it on his set. Is there any? And you guys, you're done with him. You're just gonna banish him.
Anything else? What's the weather like in Tropico?
What?
Aaron Gold?
Aaron's Gold? Why? It's magically ensured to always be a temperate and wonderful
just
climate.
Get rid of it.
Magically delicious.
It is indeed.
Ooh, wait. Who does the king do that magic, or is that some?
No, it was established years and years ago by the great wizard Garland Brighthand. And
Oh, we killed him.
Is there near water?
what?
Is
There's a river.
there? It's on a river. There's probably one of those magic floating balls like that did Stillport. We can probably turn that shit off and bring some storms to Arangol. Anyway, yeah, plane shift.
Well, as you and he is just gone. The chains just and somewhere. Well, so we see the doors open and Arthur. All right. We are gathering everyone as we speak. Come and meet us in the war room when you're ready. Karen will show you the way. And he walks, and then he stops and goes, "Did you eat that guy?"
I wish.
All right. All right. And he begins to walk, and you guys file out of his room one after another, kind of looking back at the shackles. The camera kind of pans over to the shackles, and we see, and you can see him, his arms broken.
Oh, is he back?
No, he's not in the room. He's laying on a ground on a stone floor. His arms are broken. He's going, and he looks around in this dark, sort of horrible, broken castle, and you can see a massive shadow loom over him, and huge blade-like claws reach for his face, and he goes, "Ah!" And it grabs the sticky note and peels it up, and you see her hold it in front, this tiny sticky note, and she eats it, and she leans down to him, picks him up
in her hands, and he's like, because his arms are broken, and she goes, "Oh, they have no idea," and just throws him down a hallway as he screams a shrill scream.
Yeah,
And that is where we will leave off.
Hey! Coming to the end.
He did not eat him.
We're the best. Around. No one's ever gonna keep a step.
Play Xbox.
You play a game.
Big meeting.
You play a game.
Everyone.
ESO or Call of Duty.
Whatever you guys.
I've been down with a little bit of Gang Beasts, I think. Just something
Ooh,
like
let's do a little bit of
Gang
Gang Beasts.
D&D usually takes that. Yeah, this wasn't an intense episode though, but you want to do a little bit of Gang Beasts?
Yeah, this was intense.
Yeah. Well, until
But,
next
but yeah,
time.
so
All right.
so we're done. We'll call it there. I'm gonna stop recording.
Dubai.
Next time it'll be good.